Welcome back to another Choose a Career series. Today we are here with Miss Nikki from Smith and Nephew. Thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you for inviting.
Now tell me a little bit about the company. How large is y'all's footprint? I know y'all have a lot of things going on here in the city of Memphis. Do y'all go beyond the city of Memphis?
Oh yeah, believe it or not, even though our major manufacturing for Smith and Nephew is located right here in Memphis, Tennessee, not far from you all, Smith and Nephew is actually a UK-based company. We're based out of the United Kingdom, and it's about 60, 70 years or so ago, they discovered little old Memphis, Tennessee, and they brought their major manufacturing right here to Memphis. Smith & Nephew is also sold in over 90 countries throughout the world. We have about 15,000 employees worldwide. We're one of the leading orthopedics companies, but our footprint is just about everywhere. It just so happened that Memphis, Tennessee is our major manufacturing for global Smith & Nephew.
Okay, now for students who don't have a clue because they don't pay attention, explain what Smith & Nephew does, the bread and butter.
All right, the bread and butter of Smith & Nephew, which is the one of the locations that I kind of oversee, we actually manufacture replacement knees and hips and screws and plates. If you know anybody who's ever had a knee replacement or a hip replacement, hopefully they have a Smith & Nephew part. But that's what the bread and butter of the company is. We also have a wound therapy division. We have some biopharmaceuticals that we do. Like I said, and just Memphis is just where we do our major manufacturing of the knees and hips is what we make most of our money off of. And that's what you'll find here in Memphis.
Okay, lots of jobs throughout the company. I'm assuming y'all have, I know you have engineers that work on designing all of these things, but you actually are at a facility that's manufacturing some of these items that have been designed. So explain a little bit about some of the job opportunities that students might have.
The job opportunity is absolutely endless, believe it or not. You know, I kind of oversee or handle part of the operations training group right there in Memphis, where we bring employees in. They kind of come past our group first, and we kind of get them acclimated to our environment. But we have a saying, we hire you to retire. And we actually do. We've had employees who've been there for decades. And we have people all over the place, anything from attorneys to engineers to accountants to business people. Believe it or not, I have a background in teaching. I taught for years, and I'm in our operations training group. And then of course our machinists, our packagers, our finishers, we have supervisors, just about anything that you can imagine that it takes to keep a business running, we actually have. Because we're even here in Memphis, we have our surgical suites. We have surgical technicians who work for us because there's a need just about everywhere. We have an events planning division. Anything that you can imagine to keep a business flowing, we have that going.
Okay. For students who might be looking for an entry-level job, let's say post-high school, once they have a bachelor's degree, but maybe they're not interested in going and doing training as far as college.
Yes.
What are some of the entry-level jobs that you can think of?
Believe it or not, majority of the people, I dare say in the neighborhood, about 70%, 65-70% of our people don't actually have anything but a high school diploma. Smith & Nephew is one of those companies where we do hands-on training. We do require a high school diploma, a GED. You got to kind of go through a background check and a few other blood work kind of tests that we ask everybody to be able to pass because we are a medical device company. We deal with parts that go inside of people's bodies. But the good thing about Smith & Nephew, and where I say that we have people who've been there for decades, is because we do hands-on training. If you come with the desire to want to learn and the ability and just that commitment, and you can acclimate to our kind of family, our environment, we will take you straight out of high school and give you a career, and not just a barely minimum wage type thing, but we give our people an opportunity for a career. And then we also have our back to school, where we have tuition reimbursement. So if you have interest, even from a bachelor's degree to master's degree to MBAs and even doctorates, we will pay for you, help pay for you to go back to school. So all we want is a good high school diploma, like I said, a good decent background check, and a desire and a will to work. And we have you. And our goal is not, like I said, not only to just give you just something minimal, but to give you a career where you can actually take care of your family and stay with us for the remainder of your life, if we fit into that puzzle of you.
Okay, so y'all definitely invest in your people, it sounds like.
Most certainly. We have our starting rate is far above the national minimum. You walk in day one with your benefits. Like I said, we make that investment from the day that you accept to be a part of the Smith & Nephew family. We ask you to make that commitment to us, and then on the other end, we're willing to make that commitment to you.
Describe to some of the students the benefits y'all have. A lot of students think right off the bat, just what am I going to get an hour? And they don't see beyond that. They don't realize the value of that benefits package.
Well, I mean, do you want to discuss the hour or just like the benefit, the hourly wage?
Either way, we'll go both.
Well, for the most part, right now, most of our employees, I dare say, I can't really think of a single employee that walks through our door making less than $20 an hour. And then we offer bonuses. Right now, it used to be annually, but then they're quarterly, where you get that opportunity. Smith & Nephew has an outstanding insurance package where we pick up majority of the cost for your medical, dental, vision. We offer the life insurance for free, accidental death and dismemberment insurance for free. We match your 401k up to a certain percentage. You get PTO days, which means if you're sick and you haven't exhausted your PTO days for the year, you can take up to a dozen or so days off of work per year to be able to take care of those needs outside of work, and all of that is paid. That's the one thing that I think a lot of our young people, when they get to the company, they realize that, like I said, if you're willing to make the investment in us, we're willing to make the investment in you. And so even when you're sick, and even when you have children, even if you just want to take off to just be at home for the day, you have an opportunity to do those things and still go home with a good pay. We're not that company when we run out of work, we send you home. We want you to come in. We want to train you to do what we have you to do. And then we want to make this a life for you.
Okay. I asked earlier, but just one more time, a few entry-level positions. What can you think of off the top of your head that students from high school could walk right into?
Oh, most certainly. We have positions that we call finishers and packagers. Now, people may think, what does a finisher and a packager do? A finisher is like that hands-on type thing. There are a whole bunch of different jobs we bring you in and we train you. We're not asking you to have any skills when you come off the floor for those jobs. High school diploma is all that we require that you to have, like I said, other than those couple of other little things. And then we train you to do that hands-on job. And that's just, hands-on, using your body and learning physical skills. And then we have our packaging department. It's not a pick and pack deal thing. Like I said, we're a medical device company. We train you how we want our packages products. So when they reach into that surgical suite, they're exactly what they're supposed to be. So having no experience, our finishing and our packaging, with our machining, you do have to have machining background.
Right.
Because that is a little bit more technical, and that's above that $20 per hour rate that we pay our finishers and our packagers. But with that, you either have to go back to school, a bunch of different local college, junior colleges and technical schools in this area.
Which y'all help pay for if you want to do.
We help pay for if that's what you want to do. Believe it or not, they have helped pay for me to go to school. Right now, we have probably about 18 of our current operators throughout the entire side of Memphis that we're paying to go to machining school. We know that there's a need there. We know that that's a career that you can take anywhere. And then for just having a high school diploma, that's probably one of the highest paid positions that we have is our machining.
It would sound like it.
And we will pay for that. And we have programs here in Mississippi, some in Tennessee. There's even a program in Arkansas. And we work with you. Like I said, I have people who work full-time and go to school full-time. We kind of work with their schedules to make sure that they can be successful at what they're doing. And so having a high school diploma, we have plenty of room for you. Like I said, if you want to jump right on in, but then we have other departments that offer our material deployment. It's a bunch of different departments. It depends upon what you want to do. If you're real good at numbers and inventory and you organize like that, we got a department for that too. I mean, if you like a little secretarial work and you like to do that, we got jobs for that too.
Okay.
And all of those just simply require high school diploma. Not you get to the engineering and some of those technical things. Do we require those post-secondary degrees? We have quality technicians. If you are very meticulous in attention to detail, we will train you to do that.
Because these are medical devices. These have to be inspected and go out perfect.
They're perfect. They're as close to perfect as we can possibly be.
Right.
Because believe it or not, when our parts leave our facility, and they're packaged in those little boxes and all that kind of stuff, the very next time that part is seen is actually in the operating room.
Right.
And that's the reason why we don't, pay minimal. Right. I tell about all of our new employees and stuff like that come in. We don't pay minimum wage because we don't expect minimum work.
Right.
And that is the reason why we have to have that competitive edge. And then we're making that commitment because we want people who can buy into our culture and making sure that they understand this is somebody's mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin. It could be one of your relatives. We've had members of our staff or members of our operations, like their mothers end up with one of our parts.
Right.
And we can trace that part all the way back to the very first who put that part in that box.
Right.
Because, the documentation we have to keep, that scrutiny that we're under.
Right.
I mean, but we take it seriously.
Absolutely. So clock in and bring your A game, and you'll get rewarded for
very,
it.
very much so.
All right, so for students who might be interested, I'm assuming y'all are hiring, because it seems like everybody just about is.
Well, we're always in the process of looking. I mean, there are certain peaks that we're really, really, really hungry for employees.
Sure.
Right now we're getting ready to go into the Christmas holidays, but we're always looking. And then certainly after the first of the year, you can always go to smithandnephew.com and check out and see what we're hiring for. But we have something on the job board at all times.
Okay, so go to your website, and y'all have a job board where students can apply and through the website.
They sure can, yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us today. We really appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. Looking forward for the opportunity to hopefully see some of y'all's students coming through the doors one day. I'm one of the first stops that they will make, and just give a shout and say they saw me at the school.
All right, thank you so much.